Hey guys, for this assignment we're going to be working on the eyes. Just like any assignment, you start with your shapes to get everything in place, and then you can start working on the shading after that. There's lots of different shapes you can use for any drawing. So if you feel more comfortable trying out another shape for the eye, then go ahead and use that. There's lots of different examples online that can help you out. Just like the previous video, I don't want to talk too much, so I'll just talk when I feel like it's necessary. Maybe a little bit in the beginning of each different segment that you have to draw here. So we started with eyes looking forward. This is what's called a 3/4 view. So the head is tilted slightly to the right. The light source is coming from the top right corner, and the model would be looking at the viewer. I tried to include one image of the model looking at the viewer, then the model looking off to the side, and an older eye. The one where the model looks to the side, you'll see it shortly, is a younger eye. And then also one of the model looking off into the distance, or to, just away. I wanted to do more. I wanted to do a direct view coming forward, but I thought that was a little bit redundant because it's just slightly altering the 3/4 view, which is the first one, the one that you're looking at now. So 3/4 view is actually really popular in art. A lot of artists use it, and I personally like it quite a bit, much more than a straight on portrait. And when you do your self-portraits, I want you to consider doing a 3/4 view. All right, once you have your shapes in, the big thing about eyes, everybody loves to do eyes. First of all, usually, eyes come in pairs. So keep that in mind. You can't really have one without the other. If you're going to do a portrait, that is. And it comes not in pairs, let's say it comes in a set. So it comes in a set with the nose and the mouth as well, and they all interact together. So usually, and I'm being a little bit hypocritical here because just to show you the older eye, I only drew one, but usually when you just draw one eye, it just looks a little bit awkward. But it helps you learn at least a little bit. But you should really draw two if you can. I didn't want to make it too difficult for you, so I only drew one. I thought if I drew both of the old eyes, then it's good practice, but I don't think you guys have the patience for that right now. Right after you finish your shapes, the shading is really what makes the eyes. And hopefully I've already spoken about the shape of the eye. In class. It's not really your football shape or your almond shape. You gotta look at it carefully. And a lot of students make the mistake of making a very pointy eye at the ends. Not to say that it can't be, but it's not as pointy as you think it is. And then subtlety when it comes to shading. A lot of you have already done the shading assignments, the value scale. There's a lot of that going on with the eye, especially because the eye is a sphere ultimately. So the light it gradates across the sphere. One thing that is important to note is when you do the light or the shading of the pupil and the iris, wherever the highlight is. So you see in this particular one, the highlight is in the top right corner. The bottom left of the iris, and I think it is the iris, yeah, because then you have the sclera, which is the white part. The bottom left of the iris, it's lighter than the rest. It's been explained to me that it's kind of like glass, like it goes in one way and it reflects out kind of in the opposite way. So if you had a light shining on glass, it would go in from one corner, bounce against the other corner, and kind of reflect that light. That makes sense to me, so I've kind of kept that reserved in my memory. Hopefully it helps you as well, but it's important to note that or it's not going to look right. Also, right there at the top, right, the lid has weight. Both lids have weight. So you'll see for all of these drawings, there's a little white space left at the bottom. That is meant to represent the edge of the bottom eyelid. The top lid carries weight. You can't see the edge because there you have your eyelashes. And it's heavy enough to cast a shadow over the top of the eye. That's including the pupil and the iris. So you'll see that the top of the whole eye, even the sclera, the white part, it has a shadow. But let's discuss that for a second. The sclera is not truly pure white, so you have to give it some type of shadow, even more so in painting than in drawing. In drawing, it's pretty easy to shade. You do want areas of light because it has highlights as well, and gradation, remembering that it's a sphere, it's not a flat surface. So you do want to have some shadows and some lighter areas even within the sclera of the eye. This drawing is almost complete, and I've spoken more than I thought I would, but it's important. Also, when you do the eyelashes, don't do big dramatic eyelashes. Look carefully. The eyelashes change in direction because the eyelid, it's not flat, it's also round. And the eyelashes are foreshortened, meaning that they're coming towards you. So you're not going to see a big, really long eyelash sticking straight up above the eye. So I think that's all I can say for right now. This is the drawings I discussed a while ago or a second ago. The one on the right is going to be the side view, or the model looking to the side, the profile view. The drawing on the left will be the older eye with wrinkles and things like that. And this is just a demonstration. When you're drawing older people who have wrinkles, don't make them up. People know their wrinkles. So look at the reference carefully. Like all of these demonstrations, they're just kind of a guide. You should never, if you can avoid it, you shouldn't create drawings without a reference. Always look for a good reference. And I did that for these drawings. I had some of my family help me and took some photos so I could do the eyes. And for this assignment, you could just use my finished drawing as a reference, but definitely don't just draw stuff from memory, because your memory will fail you. It's the old saying, draw what you see, not what you know. And that, I think, is the biggest problem a lot of artists have, including myself. I actually tried to draw the eye without a reference, and though it wasn't terrible, I wasn't very happy with it, and I decided to ask some family members if they could help me. Yeah, guys, I think that's enough talking. I'm gonna see if I play some music for you, and I hope that this video helps you and that you are staying safe wherever you are.